headline segment and the newspaper review segment. The newspaper review segment comes later on the show, where topical issues are tabled for discussion and also invites you to be a part of the conversation. But as it stands, I am seated here this morning. I'm going to furnish you with some trending topics on the front pages of our newspapers, but I'm seated here with some friends and we're going to delve into some topics of interest relating to Africa, the emancipation of the African people in their diaspora, the unity of African people from across, the globe. And this personality, one is new and one is a known figure here on the show. And I'm going to introduce them and we're going to delve into the conversation. But this morning, I am grateful to be joined by Dr. Angela Harris. Good morning, Mama.
Good morning.
Good to see you again.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah. And welcome to the show once again. Dr. Angela Harris is a visionary executive producer, the Black I Am Awards, and the rebirth of the Black Nation. And this morning she's been accompanied by Kenny Daniel, Executive Director, Pan-African leader and filmmaker. Good morning and welcome to the show. And this morning we're going to talk about the Emerge Us Conference. Emerge Us Conference, which I remember last year we had a conversation about the Emerge Us Conference, but for the purposes of those who are new to this topic or this initiative, let us run them through what the conference is about.
Okay. Well, good morning, Africa. The Emerge Us Conference is a conference that is designed to make Africa great again. It's not just a conference, it's a movement to make sure that the spiritual intellect of who a person is individually merges with the economic understanding of how great Africa is and the resources that's in it, and how the unity of Africa as a whole is what's going to make Africa great again. So the Emerge Us Conference is a 3-day conference. It's a 3-day conference that was stemmed from 3 different events in America over time that's now merging together for the cause of what the original purpose was, and that's to make Africa great again.
Right, let me come to Kenny Daniel. Kenny Daniel, we didn't see you last year. Yes. Are you now joining, or what is your role in this whole initiative?
Okay, so I've been part of this initiative for a very long time.
Okay.
I've been part of the Black I Am Awards. Okay. So last year I think I was very busy with some movies, productions and all that. Okay. So it is necessary that we all come together, put all hands on deck to make sure this vision comes to reality. And that's the reason why I had to make sure I'm part of the movement this time around. Right.
But what are what stories does your movies tell?
It tells the African story. I'm a Pan-Africanist, and I'm so glad to be on the Pan-African TV this morning. Yeah, so I am actually an agent of African story. Show the world that we are actually great people, and we are actually different from the usual narrative, that the Western media has been putting out there.
Dr. Harris, let me come to you. You have been on the front line when it comes to advocating for African emancipation, reunifying as African people, and also, the very brilliant aspect of connecting our spiritual capacities and also the economic, should I say, realities, merging it and making us great. What will be the difference, between this conference and other leadership and empowerment and, rallies and movements when it comes to the Black I Am, the conference?
Okay, so this is what I would like to say. Over time, there's been a lot of things and a lot of efforts to bring an initiative to Africa. But one of the things that I see that's very, very distinct, or that's been missing, is that the spiritual values of people knowing who they are in Africa. There's been a lot of things that has been taken away from the mindset of Africans as a whole. And there's been a lot of adoptions of things that's not the original intent for Africa, including the power within of African people. And so the difference in this conference, in this mission, which is now a sustainability effort to make Africa great again, is to bring back the original value of what you were born for, understanding that individually, understanding that there's no excuses, there's no time for you to continue to be brainwashed or for you not to become who you're already designed to be. And merging that into understanding how powerful Africa is. Africa is not a third world continent or country. It is the first world. It's the first account of life. And when you merge who you know that you are with the resources that's already here in Africa, then you know that Africa is the power. However, the adoption of the outside forces and their false power have been the enlightenment that has been carried around in Africa, and it has to stop. So this conference is designed to reawaken, to rebirth, and to commission the accountability of first being who you are individually, and then also how we have to bring it together in unity all over Africa.
Right. And so far, how do you think the reception of this idea has been with even those of us here in Africa, those people you have been reaching out? Because how long has Emergers, when did it start? And how long has it been running for, and what do you think the level of impact has been so far?
Okay, so Emergers is just a name to say emerge everything together. Right. So it started out actually with the rebirth of the Black Nation almost 12 years ago now, which is an accountability mission for Black people, which, you know, Black is an acronym for me: beautiful, living, ancestor, controlling kingdom, meaning people with the right heart, understanding to be led by the Spirit into their divine purpose so that they can fit their piece of the puzzle. And so it's been going on now. It started when I got the vision in America about 12 years ago. You know, I'm an activist. You know, I've done a lot of work in that world: social, human, civil, and even criminal justice along the way. But the whole mission has always been for us as a people, not understanding that us as a people was going to lead us back to the original, which is the motherland. Once that vision was obtained, then it was understood that in order for us to come back, we first have to acknowledge what we're coming back to. And so the greatness of Africa and the resources in Africa, the people of Africa, the power of Africa, and then the move of Africa has to be reunited within people's mindset. So the whole mission is to be a transition of your mindset, knowing who you are, knowing how the power of us working together is going to bring effortless the change that we always look for.
But have people accepted this? Do you think that people are actually being transformed by this appeal and are actually acting on it?
Absolutely. I believe that once you plant seeds, they get watered. Eventually, after those seeds water, plants start to grow. So they're growing everywhere. And now it's just time to go where all of the plants have been planted to emerge them together.
Right. Let me come to Mr. Kenny Daniels. I'm interested to know how storytelling ties with this initiative and this concept. Should I say this gospel? How storytelling is important in this whole puzzle, and also how owning our story as Africans is important to the success of this mission.
Okay, so You see, telling African story is the only way at which we can really portray who we are. You know, because one of the areas at which we lost it from time past is because we're documenting, you know, our original stories. So we were only telling ourselves the story, but there was no documentation to prove, right? But I know there are some documentations in Egypt, you know, where you find some the pyramids and all of that, but because they were not written, right? So that's the reason why it's very important that when we are writing our scripts, when we're writing our newspapers or magazine, we write it correctly, because he who controls the printing page controls the thinking of the age. So the Europeans really rode upon those that area at which we were really doing right. And even up until now, because we are not really telling a story as much as it should be, and even in our entertainment industry, in the music and the movies, right? So if we're not careful, we'll begin to lose, which of course we're losing it. So we're trying as much as possible to emerge, you know, us back to the original purpose, which is you know, the originality of who we are, right? Looking at the film industry, you know, the Oscars is beginning to be interested in our content. The Grammys are beginning to be interested in our content.
That's where my problem comes in, because then they are, you know, internationally established entities, and they have been running for years on years on years. They've told their stories, they've owned their stories. So when it comes to the black community, the African community, why can't we own our stories and also, you know, have rights to it?
We can. That's the reason why it's necessary for us to come together. The Emergers Conference is one of these movements that would educate people on how it is necessary. We will show people the deficiency, where we've lost it.
Absolutely.
We're still going to show people how glorious it is for us to come together, because just like you said, we don't really need Oscars to be validated. We have families, we have friends in America. As a matter of fact, the black community is so huge enough to appreciate what we do. We can build our own banks, we can build our own institutions, we can build our own television. And it's not like they are not existing. The thing is, we are not patronizing it. You asked the question, you said, how has our people been accepting this conference? Now let me explain something to you. Once our people are actually, they've been colonized, we've been whitewashed to not to like the original education. When there's a conference in Ghana, and if it is more of talk, people won't come out. But when it is more of they say Rick Ross is coming to Ghana, Ciara is coming to Ghana, people just want to go. We are so lost in the Afro beats that we are not Afro deaf to even follow up with the lyrics of the conversation.
We are Afro deaf.
Yeah, we're
not hearing.
No, we're not hearing nothing. So the conference, because the one, there's going to be lecture, people are going to learn, the two, people are going to learn, the three, people are going to be appreciated. Lots of people love it, but lots of young people they just want, are you guys going to give us money? Are you guys But let's assume Dr. Harris came and she's like, okay, once you attend the conference, you get visa to America.
Oh, the whole Ghana will attend the conference.
So this is a conference that's actually distinct, a conference that has existed over 12 years in America, coming to Africa. Unlike we putting ourselves together, wanting to go to America, just like there was a time VGMA took place in the UK, in America, had this award in Nigeria, took place. No, why go there? Why don't you do it here, harness it, and let's begin to see the need of doing our stuff originally. Why should we struggle to be on the wall of fame or walk of fame in Hollywood when we can build it here? So the Emergers Conference is fully packed to begin to create the real essence of Pan-Africanism.
Right. Very, I mean, that's profound. But one question I'd like to ask before we delve into the intricacies of the conference would be, as we have this conversation, my mind is averted to the fact that everybody needs to be on board. And when I say everybody, I mean every industry, every sector. It's just like a full circle.
Yes.
It doesn't depend on just one person who has the vision and want to execute the mission. So tell us how this intersectoral collaboration is taking place. You have a Pan-African leader, a filmmaker, which is very essential in the entertainment industry, in education, in agriculture. How is it taking place?
So let me explain the Emergence Conference to you, and I think that would answer your question. First of all, one of the things that I realized over time is that a lot of conferences fail, or a lot of initiatives fail, because they're one-sided. One thing about the Emergence Conference is that there's going to be something there for everyone. Day one, we have a business elite forum. That's for the people that are doing business, that want to do, that have the ability to do international, leave the international out and bring in the actual trading in Africa, giving the power back to Africa by working with each other to make sure that Africa, the resources in Africa are made into the business forum that we need all over Africa. But see, even after that, the Emergence Entertainment Gala that night, the reason behind that, we have the Blackwood Worldwide, which is the new entertainment industry designed to spiritain and edutain by the way of entertainment. See, we have to understand that a lot of times, first of all, our people always want to be entertained, no matter where we are in this world. We love entertainment because we love fake stuff. So now we have to make sure that even in entertainment, that there's spirit-tainment, something that's going to touch the soul. There's edutainment, something that's going to, it's going to give nourishment to the mind. And then we have to also understand that entertainment is what they love. So when you merge those three things, everything is about merging things together in every area. Then the next day with the Black Kings and Queens Worldwide, we have the moderators and the panelists and the keynote speakers, all of the people bringing substance to nourish the soul, to nourish the mind. It's a continuous flow of doing these things, but it's something for everybody to grab onto. The thing is that we can't be in a place that we're only gearing toward the elite, or only towards the politicians, or only towards the church folk, or the people at the mosque. It has to be a conglomerate of everything coming together, so that somebody will walk away, everybody will walk away with something. Then we also have to hold ourselves accountable. What do I mean by that? The Black I Am International Awards, this is our 9th year, and our awards are geared towards humanitarians and philanthropists. Now, if you may have been someone that have done a lot of great things, but if you're not giving back to the least of them, what good are you? There's a lot of people out here that they want the titles, they want the spotlight, but they're not doing something to help the least of them. So the Black I Am International Awards, we help the least. We honor those who help the least of them, because that's our mission too, to help the least of them. The least of them right now is Africa as a whole, because there's something that Africa has been starving for, that has been missing, and we're here to feed them. We're here to emerge the mindset, the heart, and the mission and the action of Africa.
Right. Absolutely brilliant. So I think you have merged the the program. What I wanted to ask you next about what the program is about and when it's happening. You didn't mention the date, but then you gave us the different sections of the program. And you said it was going to be a 3-day event.
Yes.
Yes, and it's happening from
September 11th through the 13th.
September 11th to the 13th. And so on the 11th of September to the 13th of September, you should make your way to
the UPSA
auditorium.
Yes.
All right. So 11th September to the 13th of September, the Emergence Conference is happening this year. I don't want to miss it.
Amen. I would love to say something to the people out there. Partnership is everything. Sponsorship is everything. if you have the ability to pour into a mission that's going to change Africa, it's no longer just talking. Whatever way that you're able to join in. So you can talk as much as you want to, but if you're not a part of the change, then you cannot make the change something that you talk about. You know, you have to be a part of it. And so we're still looking for partners and sponsors and people that are willing to be lay members of the mission. Because making Africa great again is a big task. It's not something that I can do. Just because I was given the vision years ago of this mission, there's so many people's vision inside of the mission. And if you are a person that really want to make Africa great again, I speak to you and I say, get in contact with us. Come on, partner with us. Not to change the mission, but to be a part of the mission.
Yeah, sure. Mr. Kenny Daniels, I'll take your last words.
Yeah, so I think it's high time we all come together as African people. Let's make sure we lay our voices and we get involved in every aspect at which we find ourselves. Let's make sure we represent Africa, and we do Africa, we patronize Africa. And I think that's very important.
That's very important and forward-looking. But let me use this opportunity to wish Dr. Angela Harris a happy birthday. Today's her birthday, guys. And the next song that I'll be playing is dedicated to you. So we'll need to dance in the studio before you leave.
Oh my God.
I've been in conversation with Dr. Angela Harris and Mr. Kenny Daniels. And Dr. Angela Harris is a visionary executive producer. The Black I Am Awards, the rebirth of the Black Nation, and Mr. Kenny Daniels is the executive director. He's an executive director, Pan-African leader, and a filmmaker. We've had such an amazing conversation. The Emergers Conference is happening on the 11th to the 13th of September this very year, at the UPSA Auditorium. And so if, during that period, you have time, just make your way there. But also I'll encourage you to make time for it. Just allow your schedule to fit the period, and we are going to have a great time emerging Africans, exchanging ideas, and coming together as a unified body, because that's we are all we have, right? And it's been an amazing morning with you. Coming up next is the newspaper review segment. Get ready for some thought-provoking conversations, and you can be a part of it as well. We're live on all our socials. We are very active on there, so let's engage. I'm Ohima Ichajukum. See you on the other side.